Okay, guys. All right. Am I audible to all of you guys? Can you put thumbs up now? Awesome, awesome, awesome. Manjeet, Baswaraj, Ajhar, Pawan, Manjunath, all of you guys have joined. Let me check. If people have joined already, then we can start the session. Great, 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 great. People are still joining, but lot of you I can see still on the bridge, still yet to join. Let me check. Okay. All right. Saurav, am I audible now? Good afternoon, Dhruv. Good afternoon. Vrushali, Pawan. Hello, Pawan. Saurav and everyone, I hope I'm audible to all of you guys. Now it's 2:05 and we will start the session. Okay? All right. So let's start the session, guys. So today we will talk about mastering top product companies interviews, right? We will talk about top mastering top product companies interviews. And trust me, this has been the most asked questions by thousands of students who are interested in specifically data science field and data science domain all across India and world, right? And this has been the most asked question. Everyone wants to get into the top product companies. And when I say top product companies, it's not just limited to FAM, right? It's not just limited to Facebook. It's not just limited to Amazon or Google or Netflix. It's not limited to this. When I say top product companies, there are a lot of companies, lot of categories of product, right? You use cars, right? You have something in transport. You have something in food industry, in electronics industry, right? And in all these industries, there are some top product companies. There are companies who lies in top 1% in that category. And I'm going to talk about those companies. It's not about 3 to 4 companies which you should be aiming for, right? So how to get into those top 1% companies? Is there any secret sauce? Is there any secret sauce behind it? Is there any secret way of doing it? Well, yes and no. All right, there is no, I would say there is something which you have to focus on, but people tend to miss out on those things, right? Very few people they catch up on few pointers which takes them to that 1% of the companies, right? And others, they know about it, but they put focus on something else which might not get them to that particular level. And that is what I want to talk about. In this session, we have students from internal alma mater community as well as outside as well. Internal alma mater community, they know about this platform. They have been using for alma mater classes, right? So you guys know how to use chat Q&A, but for other students who has joined this session from outside for the first time, feel free to utilize this platform. This is our classroom platform, and feel free to put your questions, discussions, lot of interaction I'm going to do in the chat section, and in Q&A, feel free to put your questions. This whole session is going to go till I think 3:30 for 1.5 hours, right? For 1.5 hours, I'm going to talk about different stuff. In between, I'm going to ask you questions, engage in the chat, put your doubts in Q&A. At the end, in half an hour specifically, I'll ensure that all your doubts are cleared. Okay, all your questions are answered. Okay. All right, guys. So this is going to be our topic of discussion today. Now, before I start, let me introduce myself. I am Alok Anand, co-founder and CEO at Alma Better, and I have 7+ years of experience in working in companies like American Express and Blackbuck, which in itself they are top companies, top product companies is there in their own category, right? And I have worked as data scientist and machine learning engineer, mostly focused on deploying models, working on recommender systems in these two companies. Okay, so that's about myself. Now, let me start with the content, right? Let me start with the topic which we have to discuss. All right, let me share my screen and we will start talking about that secret sauce which I have been mentioning, right? As I mentioned, that is not a secret sauce as such, but people they don't focus on that particular thing which will take them to the top 1% companies. All right. So tell me, guys, before I start it, can you guys put yes in the chat if you are excited? If you guys are excited about today's session, can you put yes in the chat? Great, 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 great. Feel free to interact in the chat, guys. You have taken out your time. You have taken out your time to join this session. These 2 hours, you should be, focusing on acquiring the understanding, right? Lot of people register. So, like, let me start talking about it. All those top 1% companies, right? All those top 1% is percent companies, what they have done, right? What they have done, they have focused on their customers, and that's why they are at top 1% in their category, right? They have focused on how they can serve the customer, whoever is their consumer, in the best manner, and that's why they have reached at that top 1%. And they are always going to give the quality over quantity, right? They will always focus on ki whatever I'm giving, I should give the quality at the end, right? And they are always looking for that people who will join with them. They will work with their own company on the product. They are always looking for that top 1% student, right? They are looking for top candidates, top students who can join and then take their vision forward, right? So it's all about, if you lie in that top 1%, you will be part of this top 1% companies. That's how the mindset is. Again, this top 1%, it's not like after this session you will become that top 1%, because it's a journey. And I always tell this to all my students, right? All the students in this session, it's never going to be one day, it's never going to be today, it's going to be a journey. Eventually you are going to reach a certain level, but to reach there you should have a direction. You should know how to reach that particular level where you are part of that top 1% of the candidates or the students who can join these type of companies, right? That's what you should be aiming for. So to reach that level, there is a journey, and today you have taken that step where there were a lot of people who wanted to get into this. They saw it, they ignored it, they registered for it, they did not join, and they will never join, right? But you guys today, you took out your time and you have joined this session, right? So this might be your first step, and not, again, this is something which will eventually might lead to something very big, but you have taken one step, and this is how you are going to take each and every step which I'm going to talk about in this session, and eventually reach that level, right? I am going to give you the direction, a journey to master top product companies interviews. This session will be little bit focused on interviews and all those things, but still you will get the journey overall. Great. All right. So let's start the first topic. Let's start the first topic. How do you master top product companies, right? There are three dimensions to it. There are three parts to it. First is no brainer. These three things everybody talks about. First is no brainer, acquire technical skills. That is never going to go away, right? If you want to do something, you should know how to do that, right? You should know the tech know-hows. That's only you can join these companies, and it's all about other companies as well. You should know technical skill. That is never going to go away. Second part will be building your portfolio, right? Second part is building your portfolio. So this is your first, acquiring technical skill, then build your portfolio. I'll talk about each one of this. And the third part, tell the story. Tell the story. This part is the most under talked. Okay, very few people talk about this, telling the story. How do you tell your story in the interviews? People all everywhere you join, everywhere you see anything, you will see. And I have personally seen, like, most of the people are talking about uh, acquire technical skill, build your portfolio. That is true. Few people are talking about telling the story, but very few students are focusing on this part, telling the story. And this is what I wanted to talk about today. This is what I want to give you a direction where this, of course, you have to do, but this is where very few people are focusing on. And how can you focus? What all steps you should take, and what actually I'm trying to say with the telling the story concept which I'm putting here, right? So there are three different things. When I talk about acquiring technical skill, lot of you are very clear: Python, SQL, right? Dashboarding. So Python is used for coding, data wrangling, visualization. You use pandas and numpy. So in your company, whenever you have something to work on, these are going to be your tools. So as a data scientist, you will work on different problem statements, which I'm going to talk about later, right? So those problem statements, you are going to use some tools, some coding languages like Python. How many of you here, you have heard about Python? Is there anyone here who has heard about Python? Put yes in the chat. Sumit, Anshul, right? Sumit, Anshul, Manjeet, you have heard about data science. Sorry, you have heard about Python. We have SQL, right? We have SQL. We use it to manipulate database. We use to query data from databases, from tables, right? So that is what SQL is. So again, if you want to become data scientist, you are nothing without data. If data is not present in the world, there is no work of data scientist. And that is not going to happen in the near future. Data, it's always going to grow. And to manipulate the data, to get the data, you use SQL. This is one tool, right? Likewise, you are going to do some analysis and you are going to tell someone, right? You are going to present it to your manager, your senior manager. Somewhere, someone is going to look at your analysis. You are not going to keep it with yourself, right? Whatever you are going to do, you want to present it to somebody. You will use Python, SQL, and somewhat Excel to make different dashboards to analyze things. And then you will use, let's say, Tableau, you will use Power BI, or in some cases you will, or in lot of cases I would say, right, you will use Excel as well, where you will present your analysis. That's what dashboarding tools are: Excel, Tableau, Power BI. Then you go a little bit higher, you talk about machine learning, you learn machine learning, you build machine learning models, then you put it in the production. So you put it on cloud like AWS, your machine learning model is live, people are using it. Then you have deep learning, you have been hearing like Chat GPT. Then you have big data analytics. Now you have been doing all these stuff, but if you want to manipulate big data, like if you want to manipulate billions and billions of transactions, which I used to do in American Express on a daily basis, right? So those billions of data, how do you manipulate? You use some big data tools, like their SQL might not be very helpful, right? So in that case, we use Hive, Hadoop system. So these things you should be aware about, right? So this is what the technical skill you should be able to know. You should know how to implement, you should know how to use it. These are the technical skills. These are the tools. Of course, with time some tool might change. Earlier there were some other tools. Earlier industry was using SAS. That was a tool similar to like Python, SQL, I would say, but that was one tool which was used to get the data, do all the analysis, right? Now, a lot of companies, they have migrated from SAS to Python, SQL. Likewise, after 4 or 5 years, these tools are going to change, right? These tools are going to change. So tools are temporary, right? Of course, not everything will change overnight. Eventually some things will change with a better capability, with better functionalities. So tools are something which can change. Next is your building your portfolio. Building your portfolios, how do you utilize all these technical skills to apply on the projects? How do you tell the world that you are confident, right? You are competent around solving a problem statements. That's what building your portfolio is. That's what showing any company ki, see, this is what the proof is. This is the proof that I know I can do this, right? I can work in any at work and work on any problem statement, and I can solve it. I can do the analysis, I can give you the model, I can work on the task which you're going to give, which is required for this company, right? That's what building portfolio is. And then showing the world that you are really good at it. So you will work on industry grade projects, competitions you are going to participate. You will optimize your GitHub profile, building ETS compliant resume, elevating your resume. Like when you are talking about portfolio, it's not just about putting everything in resume, like here and there. There has to be sequence to it. What do you want to be? What do you want people to look at first? Then second, there is a whole thesis behind it, right? Elevating your resume, how do you put some pointers, some credibility which companies will recognize and say ki, okay, this person like Shubham, Manish, you have done something which they are really competent and confident about. It's all about giving them confidence that you are good at your own skill which you want to present. You are good at data science, you are good at being becoming a data scientist, right? That's what building portfolio is. And then building your presence on LinkedIn. So you say to the world, you see, boss, I have done this project, I have worked on this thing, and you put as a post on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a very good platform for professionals. Lot of people, lot of students, lot of candidates, lot of people are putting their stuff out there, their projects out there, and they are getting recognized from very good companies, top companies. They are getting messages like, I really liked your project, the thought process, the opinion which you have given. Can you like give a talk to the talk in my company for the employers? That's the very high level thing I'm talking about. But at your level, they will be asked telling you, "Okay, okay, this is one opportunity, are you interested in this?" These kind of things we have seen in our students. A lot of students in Alma X right now in our placement program, they are getting 10 to 20% students are getting messages from different recruiters. And that's a very good thing because they are putting themselves out there. So that's what something which you have to work on. But my point is this technical skill building portfolio, this everybody is talking about this, right? Everybody will tell you these things. I want to focus on the third one, that is telling the story. These two, lot of places you are going to find, right? Lot of students have seen, they have been working on writing codes, maybe doing hacker rank, lead code, more and more practice, and all those things. Those things are very important. They work on building portfolio, they work on optimizing their GitHub profile, they work on creating their resume. But the third part, always I have seen people missing it, right? They are not putting enough focus on this, and that is telling the story. So that's why I mentioned at the start, is there any secret sauce or to get into these top product companies or even get a job altogether? Is there any secret sauce? Yes, the secret sauce is focusing on this part as well, right? Focusing on these part as well. Manish, can I get job after 3 months? Don't worry, put it in the Q&A. At last half an hour I'm going to talk about it. Right now focus on, like, how do you plan your journey, what part you should focus on. Just, I want to give you my experience, how I have been thinking about these things, right? So please focus here and you will see that again everything will fall in place eventually. All right, so let's come back. So this is the third part where I talk about the telling the story, right? And that is what is the most underrated a category which very few people they look at it. Now, when I say telling the story, lot of people are saying ki, sir, I am not good at English, so that's why I think I'll not be able to be good at this thing. So I always tell this, right? Telling the story is not about English. It's not about English. It's about articulation. How you talk about how you talk about your projects which you have done, how you talk about your knowledge, each and every question you answer during interviews, right? It's not just technical. There are ways of answering it, right? If somebody is asking you what is, let's say, data science, there is a way of explaining this. I can talk about you use data to analyze and look at the patterns and then present it to the company, right? This can be one simple one liner technical stuff, but if I have to tell story about what is data science, so I'll talk about it. Okay, companies right now, what they require, why, what is data, why data is important, and then I'll talk about what data science is. This is what the flow is, right? And that you have to understand. Once you perfect it, you will start sounding more interesting. People who is interviewer who is interacting with you, they will understand you have the in-depth understanding. Okay, you know how to present yourself, and that is the most underrated overlooked thing which I'm going to talk about, and that will take you to that 1% of people. And if you are in that 1%, top product company interviews, companies, they are always looking for the best talents, right? And if you are in that zone, you are going to get hired eventually. So that's the crux. Okay, it's not like there is some backdoor to top product companies. You have to work on yourself, you have to make yourself so good that eventually you are getting there, right? And the third part, that's what I'm going to focus on. So articulation and storytelling, knowledge about the industry, knowledge about business use cases, this is what I'm going to focus the most in this session. All right, so are you guys ready? Can you put Sumit, put it in the Q&A section. Let's you have already put it. Great, great, great. We are going to answer this very soon. Okay, now before I get into the further things, how many of you guys understand, okay, until now, whatever I have talked about? Are you able to, do you agree with me that telling a story, storytelling articulation is the most underrated thing, and people generally, or in the most cases, lot of people are not focusing on that. They are focusing on learning new tool, but they are not focusing on how to tell a story. Yes, Manjeet, anybody else? Right? Ansul, Raj, great, great. So this is what something which you have to focus on. And now let me give you an analogy, right? Let me give you an analogy. Now people generally, as I mentioned, people generally ask, right? People generally ask, okay, uh, telling a story, it's not about English, right? It's not about English, it's about articulation. But how do I understand, how do I make myself better at articulation? How do I make myself so good that people listen to me, right? So I always give them one analogy, right? We have always understood or very interested in the entertainment industry, right? Where we see directors, where we see actors, where we see story. That's nothing but a story, right? Those guys are trying to tell a story which is so interesting that we go and hear that out, look at it, and we spend our time with, and we become so light after that. Okay, we have just got that story, and we get motivated by them, we get inspired by them. That is what the analogy I am going to first I want to give you and give to everybody, right, who ask me how to tell a story, how to improve upon articulation, or even how to think about it. Okay, so for any company you have a director, right? For any company you have a director, correct? You have a director. They are known for their genre. Genre, you guys understand, right? Horror, it can be comedy, it can be action. So can you tell me, guys, anyone in comedy, if you know any director you know who is very good in this genre of comedy? They, like, recently you have seen, or any time you have seen, any name that strikes your mind? Priyadarsan, great. Hera Fairy, Priyadarsan has directed. Any other, like David Dhawan in 90s, early 21st centuries, like it early 20s, it was like with the, like he created lot of movies with Govinda. So David Dhawan as well. Like in action, crime, thriller, I would say Anurag Kashyap. So there are, like, there are directors who are really good at the genres. In horror, Ram Gopal Verma, or there are others as well, right? So those are the genres they have perfected it. They have a really good understanding about, and then they work on different scripts, right? They work on different scripts. After that, they, based on the audience they want to cater. So in action, it can be for it can be for children, or it can be for adult, it can be for middle-aged teenagers. So based on the script and the audience, they write the screenplay, then they see the actors who are going to fit in, and then finally you see the movie. Now you will say what I'm talking about here, right? Let me give you the analogy here. Let me give you the analogy. You are, as a data scientist, if you want to tell a story, you have to think yourself as a what? As a director. Okay? This is you. Yes, you will get the certification. Of course, you will get the certification for this session. Yes. So this is you. You are going to understand the genre. When I say genre, this is what the genre is. You will understand the industry. You will understand what is e-commerce, what is healthcare, what is the gaming industry. This is what the genre is. You, as a director, you know what is required in this particular industry. In e-commerce, what all stakeholders are there? In healthcare, who all are the stakeholders? When I say stakeholders, like suppliers, warehouses, there are a lot of these things in e-commerce, right? Which you have to see, you have to optimize as a business कि कहाँ warehouse खोलना है, कौन supplier best होगा. Like in Amazon, think about it. In case of Amazon, you have a lot of things coming in picture. You have a seller, you have buyer, ये तो है ही. On top of it, you have product quality, you have different categories of product. These things are very much related to e-commerce. Now in healthcare, it can be hospitals, it can be doctors, it can be patient care around different diseases. So that's what the story around healthcare is, right? If I compare it with genres like crime, action, thriller, comedy, horror, this is what the first level industry you have to understand. Then in that industry, there are lot of problem statements. When I talk about, like in my company, in American Express, right? In American Express, in financial services companies, American Express, they have a credit card. All across the world, the people uses their credit card, right? There, the problem statements are, how do I find the fraud transactions, right? How do I find who is going to default, or who is not going to pay back the amount they have used for the purchases? So these type of problem statements are there, and there are numerous of them, and it's specific to industry, and different problem statements you are going to find. So that's the third step, similar to script. Then you have a screenplay, like you design the solution, and it is very specific to the company, very specific to the audience. Here I mentioned, based on the audience they are going to write the screenplay. मतलब क्या हुआ इसका, कि if they are writing a script, or trying to direct a movie for child, they will put some anime stuff. When they are doing it for adult, they will put some things which captivate them, right? Something which will captivate them, which they understand, like romance, all those things. People understand it, right? That's what the screenplay is. In your case, that's what is going to be the designing the solution. And now, until now, you might be thinking, kya baat kar raha hai? But now, whatever I'm going to write, you will understand what I'm going to talk about. After you have designed the solution, then tools come in picture. Tools like what type of tools you want to use, like Python, SQL, ये सब यहाँ पे आता है. Same to like actors, story, screenplay, everything is going to be there. Actors might change. If somebody is living in between, director will replace that particular actor and get somebody else, you know. Of course, right, there are tools which are like who are very famous, like Saruk Khan is very famous in romance, right? In maybe currently Ritik Roshan is famous for his dance and he famous for his action. So those actors are there, though they cannot be replaced. Like tools are there, Python and SQL, those tools are very famous in their own work. So that's what tools, that is where tools come in picture at the end. Analysis, right? Once you have used this, okay, once you have used the tool, then it gives you analysis. So what I'm trying to say here is, once you have designed the solution, then you think about different tools like Python. क्या यूज होगा इसको करने के लिए? क्या मेरे को ये AWS में करना चाहिए? कहाँ पे करना चाहिए? Like एक्टर के बारे में दे थिंक अबाउट एट लाइक थोड़ा एंड में they have written these things, they have very clear thought in their mind, then they want to see who will fit in where. ठीक है? So this is what the whole journey is. People are only focusing on this. अभी क्या होता है, सब जगह पे they are focusing on कि टूल कर लेंगे, एनालिसिस कर देंगे, and everyone miss out on this part where they have to understand the industry, problem statement, designing the solution, and then these things come in picture. Got it? Do you guys agree to this? That most of the people, wherever until now you have been searching, you must have got this part as the explanation. कि आपको Python करना है, ये करना है, वो करना है. But nobody is talking about this. Nobody is talking about these three things. क्या है genre? क्या है industry? क्या problem statements होते हैं? कैसे design करते हैं solution? And then these things will come in picture like tools and analysis. है ना? Put yes in the chat, guys, if you agree to me. है ना? So this industry, understanding about problem statement, designing the solution, this is what I'm going to give you a direction. Of course, this cannot be done in one, cannot be discussed in one session, but I'll give you a direction ki how it is, it should be thought about, how it should be, how you should explore about these things. So today's agenda for masterclass would be first understanding company and industry classification. We will understand the basics of how industry is classified. What is B2C, B2B, B2B2C, these type of categories. What are those things, right? We will understand business use cases. Business use cases are nothing but the problem statement. We will talk about industry, we'll talk about problem statements. Then we will talk about different interview formats specific to the top rated companies. What we have seen from our end to give you a direction, to give you a roadmap, kind of typical interview questions, what all you will be asked in data science interview. Okay, what typical interview questions you are going to get. And then at the end, exploring job oriented alma better programs. So that's something which is going to be a roadmap for you. Of course, I'm going to focus a lot on telling a story, but you need a roadmap for acquiring technical skill, building a portfolio. At the end, I'm going to give you that as well. Sounds good? Should we start with the first one, that is understanding company and industry classification? Guys, tell me in the chat, should we start? Please feel free to interact in the chat and ask your question in the Q&A. I'm going to answer all of those. Great, Ansul, Manjeet, Indradev, please explain in Hindi. I'll keep it a mix. See, we have students from all across India. Okay. And here a lot of students have joined right now who wants to understand about these things, right? Which these topics are very less discussed. So that's why I want to keep it in English. Of course, I'll try to make it as simple as possible. Okay. I'll try to make it as simple as possible. All right. All right, guys. So now, as I mentioned, we will talk about the industry first, which is the genre. You, as a director, you should know your genre, right? You should know the industry. You should know the industry. Now let's understand the company and industry classification to get into it, right? So you must have heard about B2C, B2B, B2B2C, D2C, C2C. These different things, different classification you have already heard about. So let's now understand what is B2C. This is very top level categorization of any company. What is B2C? B2C is when business, any company is directly involved with with customer, directly involved with customer, business to customer, like Netflix, right? Like Netflix, they are B2C company. They are involved with customer. They are building a product for the consumer. They are building a product for the customer. Hello. So that's what the company is. Netflix, Spotify. Can anybody tell me any other company which is coming to your mind? B2C company. B2C company. Anyone? You might be using lot of apps, right? Lot of apps you might be using. YouTube, haji, YouTube, you can say it's a kind of a business who is serving the customer. Lenskart, great, I use, right? Farm easy, right? Now you guys are getting, these are B2C companies, B2C companies. Miso bhi keh sakte ho aap, theek hai? So they are a business. Of course, there is a difference between marketplace versus B2C. Okay, there is a difference. So Misho might be a, Miso might be a marketplace. Flipkart is also a kind of marketplace. Amazon is a marketplace place, but you guys are getting it, right? So B2C is they have a product and they want to sell it to consumer directly. Okay, they want to sell it to the consumer. They have built a product for the consumer. In between, there might be retailers, there might be distributors, there might be other people in the chain before it reaches to you. बट अगेन दीज आर बी टू सी. अब आप इसमें एग्जांपल लोगे तो सारी एफ एम सी जी जो है वो बी टू सी है. व्हेन आई से एफ एम सी जी, योर लाइक आशीर्वाद आटा आ गया, ठीक है, घी आता है आपके पास, राइट? दीज टाइप ऑफ कंपनीज, लाइक आपके पास आईटीसी के प्रोडक्ट्स आते हैं, राइट? These all are B2C companies. They have their product which they are going to sell it. ठीक है, they have a product which they are going to sell it. Wow, Momo, correct vision, exactly. So that's what B2C is, like business having a product and then selling it to customer. That's what B2C is. You have mentioned Netflix, Spotify, आप कुछ भी बोल लो, वाओ मोमो बोल लो, ठीक है, आपके पास यहाँ पे नेस्ले कर सकते हो, आप नेस्ले भी कम है, जो कि मैगी आप खाते हो, ये सब खाते हो. दीज आर द प्रोडक्ट ऑफ नेस्ले. सो अगेन ये आपका B2C आता है. सो B2C कैटेगरी में all the companies they have Similar, I would say not exactly 100% similar, but they have some similar type of problem statements. Customer acquisition, customer retention. Of course, in business, this might relate it, but then again, they have some problem statement that might ट्रांसलेट अक्रॉस इंडस्ट्रीज लाइक B2C में अगर हेल्थ केयर है तो हेल्थ केयर में जो है जो प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट होंगे B2C रिलेटेड वही हो सकता है ई कॉमर्स में भी होंगे ठीक है because they lies under B2C category and of course the flavor might be different but here if any company is under B2C category they have similar type of story ठीक है similar type of story so this you can understand as the genre like B2C is one very big genre like crime अब क्राइम के अंदर भी आपके पास सब जॉनर्स होते हैं है ना क्राइम के अंदर लाइक आपके पास जो है हॉरर है तो हॉरर कॉमेडी होता है राइट क्राइम है तो क्राइम थ्रिलर हो सकता है क्राइम में कॉमेडी हो सकती है तो देयर कैन बी मल्टीपल सब जॉनरास इनसाइड इट एंड दोज आर स्पेसिफिक इंडस्ट्रीज लाइक ओटीटी एक इंडस्ट्री हो गया एंटरटेनमेंट आप बोलो एक इंडस्ट्री है राइट उन वो एक अलग हो गया हेल्थ केयर एक अलग हो गया तो ये आपके B2C के अंदर आते हैं राइट ये आपके अंदर आता है Prince is saying it means no, no, it's not like that, Prince. People are from all across India. समझे? People are from all across India. समझे? So that's why it is. All right. Next, let's go to B2B. Business to business. हम लोग जो है business to business में what is this category? एक बिजनेस है दे आर बिल्डिंग प्रोडक्ट फॉर अदर बिजनेसेस है ना जैसे वन बिजनेस इज बिल्डिंग प्रोडक्ट लाइक उड़ान यहां पे मैंने एग्जांपल दिया है उड़ान का हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू नो उड़ान हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू नो उड़ान इट्स काइंड ऑफ लाइक they have a product which they have Alibaba yes India Mart so these kind of companies they are providing product they are creating a product for uh, business है ना वो बिजनेस के लिए जो है प्रोडक्ट बना रही है ठीक है जिसमें कि आप इसमें इंटरेस्टेड नहीं होगे आप उनके टारगेट कस्टमर नहीं होगे वो जो है कौन टारगेट कस्टमर होंगे दूसरे बिजनेस टारगेट कस्टमर होंगे बहुत सारे देर आर सैस प्रोडक्ट ठीक है बहुत सारे जो है सैस प्रोडक्ट होते हैं समझे तो दो सैस प्रोडक्ट सॉफ्टवेयर एज अ सर्विस सैस प्रोडक्ट क्या क्या हो सकता है जैसे ये एयर मीट है द प्लेटफॉर्म वेयर यू हैव ज्वाइंड दिस इज समथिंग विच मोस्टली दे आर फोकसिंग ऑन B2B जिस प्लेटफॉर्म पे अभी आप ज्वाइन किए हो ठीक है अदर प्लेटफॉर्म्स आर आल्सो देयर बट दीज आर दी दिस इज वन कैटेगरी वेयर डिफरेंट कंपनीज आते हैं ठीक है इनके प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट थोड़े डिफरेंट होते हैं ये एक जॉनर है ठीक है एनीबडी who I know as a consumer very limited understanding होती है very limited visibility is there uh, in B2B space but anybody who can tell me any other Uran I have seen Anshul has mentioned Alibaba any other company can anyone suggest in the chat lead squad great nice. I guess you are already working in some company. That's why you know this Planet Spa. Okay. All right. Lead Squad. Correct. Lead Squad is also one company which is which is mostly used by companies to manage the lead. Correct. 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 Medica Bazaar. I might not be aware of, I'm not aware about this, Manish, but I get it. So it's kind of like a marketplace where you might be able to, you will be able to order medical products. Tikkedar, correct. Cisco offers video Cisco as well. Correct, 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 correct. So that's what B2B companies are. So you should know very clearly. Let's say why I'm talking about these things. So when you are attending any interview, let's talk from that angle. When you are attending any interview, then you are you are going to understand this very clearly. Okay, I'll come to that point, but understand very clearly. Let's say when you are interviewing for Flipkart, which category it lies, what type of problem statements they are going to work on, and when you tie up everything with the projects which you have done, that is where the magic lies. ठीक है? जब आप किसी भी कंपनी का इंटरव्यू देते हो, आपका इंटरव्यू शेड्यूल्ड है, राइट? इंटरव्यू है विथ XYZ कंपनी, एग्जैक्टली इंडिया मार्ट, राइट? You have a XYZ कंपनी, आप उस कंपनी के बारे में समझते हो कि व्हाट इज द कंपनी डूइंग, राइट? इन विच segment they are. One company might be in B2B and B2C as well. They have two products. It might be B2B and B2C, that's a different thing, but mostly you have to understand which category it lies, either B2B or B2C. क्या क्या इसके प्रोडक्ट हैं, right? When you start researching about these things, you will understand what type of problem statements they are working on, which I'll come to next. I'll come to that next, right? What type of problem statements they are working on. And if you know that, all your projects, you will try to tell a story around these problem statement. All your problem state, all your projects will revolve around these problem statement. ठीक है? आप हमेशा relate करते चलोगे, and I'll talk about that, how to relate your current project with this one. ठीक है? They will not be hiring for the academic projects that you have done. They will be hiring for the skills which you have acquired during those projects, right? Whenever you are working on those projects, the skills which you have acquired. तो वो कैसे करना है, वो हम लोग अब इसके बाद बात करेंगे. But that is why it's very important to understand what is B2C, what is B2B, so that whenever you are interviewing, you should be very clear about okay, what is the industry this company lies, where it lies. ठीक है? So this is what B2B is, where business is making a product for another business. ठीक है? Like India Mart, LinkedIn, Adobe, these are B2B. Then you have B2B2C. Okay? Then you have B2B2C. Right? Now, what is B2B2C? It's kind of like I want to sell this product eventually to consumer. So I have a product which I want to sell it to consumer, but I am not going directly to consumer. I will sell it to another business and they will go to consumer, right? I will sell it to another business and they will go to consumer. Exactly, Manish. Very good example here. Very good example. Like Paytm, right? Like Paytm, of course, I am using the Paytm, but they are putting their QR codes, right? QR codes for different businesses, and then I am going to pay through that. It's kind of like they have created a product for us, but again, they will go through the business. है ना? मतलब अब एक और हो सकता है, let's say Alma Better as an edtech company, right? Now we have a product like B2C where we are directly interacting with you guys, we are taking you, enrolling you in our courses. So that's a product we are directly selling it to the consumers, the customers, our students. B2B is when Alma Better is here and we partner with colleges, right? We give them colleges, they take, let's say, 100 licenses, right? Just giving an example, giving you an understanding. They take 100 licenses and then they sell it to their students. This is what B2B2C is, right? I have created a product for the customer, for the consumer, but I'm not directly selling it to the customer. I am selling it to another business and that business is selling to the customer. Like a और example देता हूँ. Lot of companies, they source it from China. You know, lot of product they source is from China. So those Chinese product, they will first buy it. So Chinese companies, they will sell it to, let's say, Indian business. They will not come and directly sell it to Indian customer. They will sell it to some Indian business, and Indian business will sell it to the customer. So this can be a B2B2C business. Clear? Is it clear to all of you guys? Put yes in the chat if you have understood this concept. Yes. Great, great, great. Next is next is D2C, where we have now companies are coming with these D2C type of companies, right? Earlier it was B2C, right? Earlier it was B2C, where there was whole lot of supply chain in between, right? You have this distributor, you had wholesalers, then retailers, and then it was coming to you, right? So now it is direct to customer, direct to customer. Like you ordered from Amazon and it is coming to you. Let's say boat का product हो सकता है, Licious product हो सकता है. These are directly selling it to the customer. There is no one in between. There is no distributor, or there is no you know wholesaler or retailer who is going to sell you this, right? It's not like boat या आप लीसियस का कुछ अगर है तो आप जा करके कोई इसमें दुकान में नहीं खरीदते हो, राइट? यू डोंट गो इन एनी नियर बाय शॉप एंड देन बाय लीसियस का. लीसियस क्या है? यहाँ पे आप मीट हो गया या जो भी नॉन वेज के चीजों को खरीद सकते हो, ठीक है? बोट एक प्रोडक्ट है. There are lot of products now because of Amazon. Lot of companies are selling their like products directly to customer. So boat is one of them. Licious is another one, right? You install the app for, let's say, बहुत सारे आपने कोई भी एग्जांपल आप टेकअप कर सकते हो. इफ आई हैव टू गिव यू एन एग्जांपल, लेट्स से आपके पास जो है, हाँ जी, if you guys tell me in the chat what all products you think are, what all companies are D2C companies where you directly order it from. ये एग्जैक्टली स्मार्ट वॉच. अभी फायर वॉल्ट हो गया, जैसे आपने फायर वॉल्ट हो जाएगा आपके पास. बहुत सारे और है, जैसे नियॉन के स्मार्ट स्मार्ट वॉच हो सकते हैं, करेक्ट? दीज टाइप ऑफ डिफरेंट डिफरेंट कंपनीज आर देयर नाउ. डायरेक्टली दे आर सेलिंग इट टू द कस्टमर, राइट? डायरेक्टली दे आर सेलिंग इट टू द कस्टमर. बीच में कोई भी इन बिटवीन, देयर इज नो अदर पार्टीज. Exactly. That's why, that's what the difference, Rashi. So in case of B2C, there is a manufacturer, then you have distributor, then you have, yeah, you have a retailer, sorry, then you have wholesaler, then you have retailer, and then you have customer. So this is what the normal supply chain of B2C is. ठीक है? D2C क्या होता है? D2C is directly you manufacturer or company giving it to customer. Great. I was looking for this answer. Mamaearth, the recent IPO, the recent news, it has been around Mamaearth. Mamaearth is D2C product, right? They manufacture it and directly they sell it to customer. There is no distributor, wholesaler, retailer. Understood? Got it? It can be your lens cart as well to some extent. Lens cart is also manufacturing and directly selling it to customer. समझे? Is it clear? Atlassian, it's B2B. Great. Manjunath, yes, Atlassian is B2B. Now you have another category as C2C, customer to customer. Customer to customer, like Uber, eBay. These are marketplaces, all the marketplaces. That's why I was saying C2C is, Amazon is also comes under C2C itself. Flipkart, Snapdeal, right? Snapdeal mostly now it has just it has vanished from the market, but yes, Snapdeal is also kind of C2C. So it has two parties and it has provided a platform. So their platform is the product, correct? Quicker, all of these are marketplaces. Any marketplace you think about, right? 1mg, like all the medical, different medical, I would say, medicine companies, pharma companies are putting up their medicine on 1mg or pharmacy, right? And then they list there, people can go and then buy it. You know, so this is what marketplace is, where there are two customers. One will be seller for the company. I have a seller. I have a like buyer, and I will meet. I'll help them meet. Uh, I'll help them to interact with each other. I'll help them to sell the product and buy the product. है ना? It can be Zerodha as well. ठीक है? Zerodha भी वही चीज है. Zerodha में भी अगर आप देखोगे तो you have a stocks listed and you can go and buy it and sell it. ठीक है? आपके पास stocks है. There are buyers, there are sellers. OLX, exactly. That is also C2C. If I purchase a smartphone from Flipkart, which was of a brand like OnePlus, then which type of business is this? See, Silpa here, first of all, Flipkart. Flipkart is C2C, it's a marketplace. Flipkart has given platform to OnePlus and Flipkart has given platform to you. So let's talk about Flipkart. Flipkart is C2C, it's a marketplace. Now, if OnePlus is selling directly to you, so OnePlus is manufacturing the product and then selling directly to you. So OnePlus is what? D2C. Got it? OnePlus is D2C. It's directly selling it to customer. Okay? If let's say they are not directly selling it to you, there are other entities in between, like retailers, wholesaler, there are other seller, then in that case, let's say OnePlus is selling it to them and they have got the licenses to sell the smartphones. Okay? So then they become what? They become your B2C. Okay, it's not directly to customer, but they have built a product, they have created a product for the customer. Correct. Swiggy, exactly. Swiggy is what? Can anybody tell me in the chat? What is Swiggy and Zomato? Which category it will fall? C2C. Great. Yes, yes. You guys have now got this. Swiggy is a marketplace for restaurant, and where restaurant and customers they meet and then they are going to sell it, customers are going to buy it. So it's a marketplace. Zomato is also a marketplace. समझ गए? Is it clear? So this you have to understand. This you have to understand when you are, interviewing for any company. This you have to understand very clearly. Which company, what type of product, and if you know this, then your whole story will be very directed. ठीक है? You know now कि ठीक है, which if you know the genre, next comes the problem statement. Next thing which you have to think about is problem statements. Okay. Now you will think कि चलो इंडस्ट्री मैंने समझ लिया, अब किस टाइप के प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट्स इसके होंगे. ठीक है? And that's how it is going to be. Different use cases which you have to think about it. These are the major categories which I have mentioned, but this is how you have to categorize, right? This is how you have to start thinking about it. कि ठीक है, in the interview, I know it has a product of C2C. It's a marketplace, C2C marketplace. So recommendation system, recommendation ke problem statements are going to be there, right? There are a lot of different problem statements, but specific to different industries, there are specific business use cases, right? Like customer segmentation, churn prediction. These are some of the problem statements or use cases I have mentioned. What is customer segmentation? Customer segmentation is very related to e-commerce, right? Of course, everything has a customer. Everywhere customer segmentation project will be done, but very related to, very frequently used in e-commerce. Which category of customer will buy what type of product, right? That's what customer segmentation is. You have, let's say, 1 million customer. You segment it, you give a characteristic to the customer. Okay, this particular category 1 is where I have high buying propensity wale log hain, ठीक है? These are people who buy high worth के products, ठीक है? High worth product they buy. Category 2 is high frequency. They will buy very frequently, but let's say low priced product. Okay? C3 might be the middle of these things, right? Low frequency or medium frequency. I would say medium frequency. Let's say medium frequency. And again, it can be high worth or average worth. C4 can be again बहुत ही erratic or random behavior. So these kind of categorization when you do, you will say कि in this category on my platform I have 1,000 people. Now, once you have done this, when you have identified there are 1,000 customers who always buy high worth K or high priced products, you will try to recommend them, you will try to talk about, you will try to design for them, you will try to give them discounts according to these things. So customer segmentation is a very big problem statement which you are going to work. And all of you guys who will be in this particular industry, like if you are going to be in data science field, this is going to be your, again, very frequently worked upon problem statement, one of the problem statement which definitely you are going to work no matter which industry you are going to get into. Next is, let's say, churn prediction. Churn is when somebody is not using your product anymore. Like you have bought the subscription of Netflix for 2 months, you watch different TV series, but then after that you have not renewed it, you have not again bought their subscription. So you have churned, you have come, you are not paying them anymore. They want to understand why you did not pay, right? That's how they will become the best company, right? They will keep on analyzing your behavior. They will keep on using your data to analyze and give you the best solution and best product at the end. And that's how they will become the best companies, the big companies. And you, as a top 1% candidate who will be joining, you should have a understanding around it कि how to analyze the pattern. Here in 2 महीने में I have just watched some category which we were not leading. Let's say you are working in Netflix, right? You are working in Netflix and you are working on churn prediction. You saw that, let's say, Alok, I have bought for 2 months, 2 months subscription I have given, and then third month I am not paying. And in 2 months, majorly I saw crime related or thriller or action, any category. In that category, I am watching lot of shows. But Netflix is right now not focused in that action category or comedy. Let me say comedy. I have watched definitely all the shows, and in third month I am not paying it anymore because there is no new show there. So I'm not going to pay for the third month. These kind of analysis you will start doing. You will do these type of analysis. Okay, so based on your industry, the company, you have to understand these are few common thing which all the company does, but how do you start talking relevant things related to these use cases? Okay, this is how, let's say if I'm interviewing for Netflix, I'm going to talk about these things, right? I'm going to talk about these pointers. Okay, let's say if I have worked in this particular problem statement where I have worked on similar to churn prediction. I have worked on this project. So let's say in Netflix, there is something called churn prediction. If I have to work on, this might be one scenario, and equivalent to that scenario, I have worked for this particular data, this particular company, right? So this is how the whole story is created. It might look very big right now for all of you guys, but very slowly each and everything will fall in place too, right? So this is what churn prediction is, right? This is what churn prediction is. This is one of the business use cases. Recommendation system, very clearly, you guys know, all of you guys are aware about, very marketed term. Amazon, Netflix, Swiggy, Zomato, all the marketplaces, they are using it very frequently. Netflix as well, exactly. Netflix, YouTube, all the companies are using it right now to recommend the relevant thing to you, to recommend the relevant thing. And it's like, let's say there might be one platform which can have like, I would say Udemy, right? Udemy have lot of products, lot of courses. They will recommend you course based on your interest. So they also have a recommendation system. They will not show you everything. They will give you things which you are interested in, your past courses which you have done, what type of courses you have completed. Based on that, they are going to give you the next recommendation. Exact, Manjit. Instagram, YouTube, all these companies are using recommendation system. Now, when you are again talking about these things, all these companies, they have recommendation recommender system, but थोड़ा सा ट्वीक के साथ. Netflix, they want to recommend you relevant movies, relevant TV series, relevant TV shows. YouTube, they want to recommend recommend you long type of आपका content होगा, short content होगा, different categories of content. Again, they are recommending you that. इंस्टाग्राम में भी अगेन फीड में व्हाट टाइप शुड बी रिकमेंड टू यू नेक्स्ट. ठीक है, किसके पोस्ट को आप ज्यादा लाइक करोगे. इन केस ऑफ यूडेमी, आई वाज गिविंग एन एग्जांपल देयर, व्हाट टाइप ऑफ कोर्सेज you will be click on or you will be interested in. So all the marketplaces, they have their own logic based on the product they have. Okay. Now, fraud detection is again, it's something which is very much related to, let's say in financial, so you are able to understand if somebody has done fraud, if somebody else is using your card and they are using it with some pattern, there is some pattern, they will be able to understand कि it's a fraudulent. आपने अगर अभी तक जो है आर्ट की चीजें नहीं खरीदी है, if you have not bought any art or something which you have not bought it earlier, if you immediately go and transact, that trigger will go to the company कि ठीक है, some, it's a different pattern for the customer. It might be a fraudulent transaction if you are doing it for the first time. ठीक है, or if it does not lie in your behavior, your pattern. So that is what fraud detection is. It does not limit to the financial services. It is right now, it's not just financial services, it might be for Amazon as well. They want to catch those sellers who is selling the fraud products or fake products. So they want to take that, right? Next is predictive maintenance. So in manufacturing, where you are in manufacturing industry, whether it is B2C, B2B, so predictive maintenance is something which they work on, right? Very, if you are interviewing for manufacturing, predictive maintenance is going to be a very big use case for you. Inventory management, all the retail or e-commerce or any company, right? They are working on this inventory management. They have created some product, at the end they are going to sell it to the customer. If your product is not, if your product is tangible, if your product is tangible, then you need an inventory to store. How do you manage it? How many product you should keep during December, January, when there is a surge of, let's say, buying sweaters, right? Then how, when you should keep how many of sweaters, right? If you keep early, you might miss out on trends. Okay, so when you should start manufacturing, this is what is called as inventory management. Sentiment analysis is very much related to, let's say, Twitter. They want to analyze your sentiment. How, what is the sentiment of the user, right? Around some personalities. Sentiment analysis is very big project in politics, right? They want to analyze. You might have heard about Cambridge Analytica. So the Facebook, they were all in this particular scam where they were into, okay, they have used people data, they have used the data without my consent to run some ads. So what they were doing, they were looking at the sentiment of people around some topic. Here, let's say Sri Narendra Modi versus Rahul Gandhi ji. What's the sentiment around these two? What type of people are more inclined towards us? How I can make them inclined? That's what sentiment analysis is, right? Price optimization, very clear. What should be the right price point? Natural language processing. How do you how do you understand the text like chat GPT? They are in natural language processing. You give them some input as a text, it gives you output as a text. Okay. Next is supply chain management. Supply chain management में क्या है? Where your warehouse should be, where your warehouse should be, who should be your retailer, in which city you should be selling. Okay, that's what supply chain optimization is. What should be the route of it, right? Who should be your distributor? That's what supply chain optimization. Healthcare predictive analytics. So, healthcare, how do you predict that somebody is likely to have a heart attack? Somebody is likely to have hair fall. Somebody is likely to have diabetes. That's what healthcare predictive analytics. Real time analytics. Lot of analysis you are going to show in a real time to the end consumers, to the business people. So all these things which I have talked right now, all these business use cases, this is the major categories which you are going to work on. Of course, not limited to these, but this is what as a data scientist you work on. This is how you talk about things when you are joining any company. You are going to work on any some of these things. Of course, you are going to work once in your career, right? Either segmentation, recommender system, some of these things you are going to encounter. Got it? So, this is what I'm talking about right now. When I know the industry, I will know the use cases around it. I will know the use cases around what type of customer segmentation, price optimization, predictive maintenance. That's how you formulate your talk. That's how you formulate your what? Problem statement. These are the problem statements or use cases you can talk about. Got it? Is it clear? Are you guys understanding it? Can you tell again? Natural language processing? Natural language processing is nothing but when you deal with text. When you deal with text. So it's a very big category. It's a very big category where you are dealing with text. Let's say you have chat GPT. It's an application of natural language processing where you put something as a text, as a prompt, and it gives you output. It's a domain of natural language processing where you analyze the language, and it does not have to be in English, it can be in any other language, where machine is understanding the language, and based on that it's giving you output. When you deal with text data and you try to find a pattern, try to create a product out of it, that's what natural language processing is it clear to you, Anshul? Great. All right guys, right? So we will go little bit deeper into the different problem statements which I was talking about, gave you an understanding around it. Let's say you have user engagement and retention. This is very generic, very famous problem statement. Now let's say you are interviewing it for Facebook, right? Problem statement which you can get is maintaining user engagement and retention on the platform. That's the major problem statement for Facebook, where they have to maintain user engagement and retention. You know, that's what it is. So what can be the solution as a data scientist? Now going to talk about the designing the solution part. How do I design the solution? Okay, how do I design the solution? Let's say I have got this script. Okay, user engagement and retention is a very big charter in Facebook. They want to maintain user engagement. If 10 days you are not constantly going there and spending your time, they will start doing some of the things, right? So what your solution will be? Facebook will use data science to analyze user engagement patterns, personal news feeds, suggest friends and connection to keep users engaged and active on the platform. They will start using your past data, what type of post you have liked, what type of post you have commented, and they will maybe send it on your WhatsApp, or they will send it on your email. Ki, see boss, this person has posted it, come back to Facebook. Okay, but which type of post you are interested in versus I'm interested in, it might be different. So they will try to write an algorithm which will fit in both. So this is what you are going to work on. So this is the solution which you will be designing. Next, product recommendation. So Amazon, enhancing user experience by recommending product. So Amazon as a company, product recommendation. So solution as a data science, or as a data scientist, you are going to design is Amazon's recommendation system employs data science algorithm to suggest product-based user browsing, purchase history, driving like increased sales and customer satisfaction. So they are going to give you all the products which are very relevant to your need, very relevant to your need. That's what product recommendation is going to be for Amazon. They will check after how many scroll you are clicking on a product. They want you to click on the first one itself or on the second one. But if you are scrolling further down, it's something they will analyze. It's something you are going to analyze when you are working in Amazon, right? So this is how you will talk about it in your interview. Okay? If I have worked on something in let's say recommender system in my project, and I'm interviewing it for Amazon, I want to relate that story. Okay, I'm not just going to explain my project like it is, right? I'm not going to explain my project ki, theek hai, I have worked on collaborative filtering or some algorithm which I have applied, which I have worked on. I'll talk about in Amazon. Product recommendation is a very big charter where Amazon is trying to give the best product recommendation to the customer so that they don't scroll much, and then in like how quickly the customers are clicking, right? How quickly customers are clicking. So to design that, these are the skills I have learned in my own project, right? That's how you tell a story. That's how you connect everything. That's what the screenplay is. You want to talk about your project, but you are going to give them examples which they will be very impressed with if you related with Amazon's recommender system or some examples of Amazon. Okay, A/B testing and product optimization. So let's say for Google, okay, for Google, determining what changes result in better user experience and search outcomes. So whenever they are searching, search is also some kind of recommender system itself, right? It's a search optimization, it's kind of recommender system where you search about something, they analyze what you want to get, you are searching for, and then based on that they recommend you, right? So again, based on these things, Google frequently conducts A/B test. Let's say it's also one kind of problem statement which you will look at, and we will talk about this, where you are going to test on different set of users. कि ठीक है, I talked about that customer segmentation. For few customer, the button will be red. For few, it will be blue. They want to check the psychology of it. These kind of problem statements you're going to work on. Fraud detection, I have already talked about for PayPal or for any company, right? For American Express, as it was, they want to figure out, okay, this transaction is fraud or not. Similarly, supply chain management. In Walmart, they are looking at forecast, like they are looking at the demand forecasting, right? When the demand will be the most, right? When there will be, the most, which type of category will be in demand, which type of category I should put in inventory, how many people are required. All those things are very interrelated. So those type of optimization you are going to work on, and you should talk about in the interview. Of course, I'm going to send this all these materials, this video, all these you will be getting. So don't worry about it. Okay. Then you have customer supports and chatbots. Again, This is very like use case of NLP, natural language processing I was talking about, where you analyze the text and based on that you make machine to do something, some analysis. So that is, this is one use case where customer support and chatbot. Now you will see there is a chatbot who tries to answer your doubts, right? Tell me guys, how many of you have interacted with chatbot in which platform? Anyone here who has interacted, where you first interact with the chatbot and then if your queries is not resolved, then somebody is coming in and helping you out, right? Then somebody is coming in and giving you the solution. Chat gpt is solely machine, but where customer support is first chatbot and then human is coming, then human is interacting with you. In Swiggy, Zomato, correct, Animesh? So in Zomato, Swiggy, when you go there, they will try to first resolve your queries through chatbot. They will try to understand what your issues are, and then based on that, they are going to analyze your issue, and based on that they are going to give you some recommendations, they are going to give you some solution. But if it is not happening by chatbot, then somebody will come and help you out, correct? In right now, it's something which lot of digital like digital websites are integrating. And all the websites you will see one chatbot on the somewhere, right on the right side somewhere you will see one chatbot where you will click and you will interact with the chatbot first, and then somebody will come. Exactly, on college websites, on Flipkart, on Amazon, everywhere they have been integrating. So who is creating this? Who is going to work on it? You are going to work on it, right? You are going to get into it. Market research and competitive analysis, correct? So Apple, let's say company Apple, staying competitive in the market, informing product development, right? So Apple utilizes data science to analyze market trends, customer feedback, competitor data to inform product development and maintain a competitive edge in the tech industry. So market research and competitive analysis, this is also something which is very widely used by uh, different companies, top companies, almost all the companies. As a data scientist, when you are working there, you will be analyzing the competitor, the demand, you will be analyzing what is trending right now, like all the products you see by boat, or you see by Apple, or different companies, they always try to be very trendy, they always try to match up with the generation. And all this happens because of the market research and competitive analysis. What is happening in the market? How do you understand the customer best? Okay. Last one problem statement is content moderation. So Twitter moderating user generated content to create a safer online environment, right? So whatever you are posting, somebody is posting, and a lot of people are here, right? Who will be posting some kind of things, right? And it's a free world where you have a free speech, but there is a limitation to it, right? You want to, everybody will respect your opinion, everybody wants to hear it, but in a very respectful manner. So as long as you are respectful, it's fine. But there are some no categories, there are few red zone. But it's a world of human, right? Everybody is thinking differently. So content moderation again on these type of platform, not just Twitter, it's for Instagram, it's for Facebook as well. They are very much invested into this, that all the harmful inappropriate content on YouTube, you will say there are a lot of community guidelines which you cannot avoid, they will ban you. So that is what content moderation is. There are millions of posts happening every day. One human cannot go and look at each and everything. You are going to work, and then your algorithm, your logic will find out these type of post. अभी आपको लग रहा है वो कैसे करेंगे, but that is what data science is. You analyze data and get this done. ठीक है? Until now, is it something which you guys are relating with? You have, you are getting a direction, what is happening, how I should think about it. It's not about Python SQL, ye kar lo, ye kar lo. That is what I want to put the premise today. Okay, it's not about Python, SQL, and all these things. It's about talking about these things. Okay, talking about market research, talking about content moderation, talking about different problem statements. Put yes in the chat, guys. If you are getting like, before you get to different tools like SQL, Python, there are other things you have to keep it in mind, right? There are other things you have to think broadly, right? No matter which level you are getting into, no matter you are as a fresher or you are uh, any experienced folk like who want to get into this field, you should think from the top down. You should think about the business industry, you should think about all the aspect of industry problem statements, different use cases. Then it will start making sense to you. If you think about it, then your story will be very good. If director is not thinking about the genre, is not thinking about the it's not, they are like, let's say, not thinking about the script. If they find, they get good tool like actor, they get good actor. If the story is not good, it will not rock, right? It will not be a very good uh, successful blockbuster movie at the end. ठीक है? So of course actor तो अच्छे होंगे, actor तो हैं, but sometimes even if you just use Excel or some simple tool, as long as आपका ऊपर का thesis is very strong, industry, problem statement, use case, designing solution, you will have a great analysis at the end. ठीक है? All right, all right, all right, all right. Now, this is what I wanted to talk about around the data driven solution and give you a different perspective altogether how to think about different things, not just from a tools point of view, rather from a business use cases point of view, problem statement point of view. Okay. Now, coming to the interview formats at different top product companies, or in fact, in general, companies as well, right? Which we have seen during like mentoring, like thousands of students, getting them placed, what we have seen, and how you should be ready to excel in these, right? So, in general, the interview format at top product companies, it's mostly 5 rounds, right? It's mostly 5 rounds, although it can be much more than that. But in general, what we have seen, that's what I'm talking about, right? So let's say technical assessment is going to be your first round. There can be 2 3 technical assessments round, right? But in general, the first round will be technical assessment, where most companies, they may require candidate to complete some technical assessment, coding challenge online before the initial interview, right? Before they will start taking your interview, they will do some coding challenge, they will do some test they are going to conduct, so that they can filter who is the interested one. So before getting to the first round or second round of interview or any interview, it's a kind of like a mass rejection राउंड. ठीक है? बहुत लोग अप्लाई करते हैं. 500 तो मैं बहुत कम नंबर बोल रहा हूँ. For top product companies, for one opportunity, 20 30,000 people are applying for. It's like prelims of UPSC. You can imagine. Ultimately, there are 1,000 seats, but lakhs and lakhs of people are preparing for it and sitting for prelims, right? So that's how the technical assessment is. First round will be coding round or some quiz round or something which they are going to take as a test, and then that is going to be your first round. Of course, as I mentioned, in the 3 things before you get to the interview, you still have to be good at tools, the technical things, building your portfolio. In fact, your portfolio comes as the first round of rejection. Before this, people look at, or they look at your portfolio, they look at your resume, then your technical assessment starts. Then your technical assessment starts, right? So again, how do you build your resume? That is not the topic for today. Some other session I'm going to take where you guys are going to be part of it, and then we will talk about how to build very powerful resume which will be relevant to the industry. And of course, there are a lot of nuances around it. But after you have a good portfolio, technical assessment, you should be good at technical things, technical understanding. no matter what, if you want to become the best, technical तो बहुत ही basic चीज है जो आपको you have to be good at. On top of it, what all things you have to work on, you should work on, that's what I have mentioned, right? Once you have cleared this round, then your story begins, right? Then your first round will come, where these this is the first round where you will be interacting with industry person, the interviewer, and it is often conducted by data scientist or engineer, of course. Like, it's a first round interview, and they are taking interview for data science roles or data analyst roles, whatever be the role. The first round is going to be a lot of technical skill round, right? They might ask you question to write a code there itself. They will ask a lot of questions on your resume, and mostly this is where your storytelling thing will start. You have to, before you get to the first round of interview, you have to research about the company, research about the company, right? See in which industry they belong to, what all potential use cases might be. If you would have been part of that company, what type of what will be your solution? Like, design the basic solution. They will not judge you based on your solution. They will at least see that you are talking about right stuff, because you are not part of company, you will not know the exact picture, but at least you are trying to think in that direction. That's what they will appreciate. You research about the company, you try to define the use cases, like I talked about, in price optimization, in fraud detection, what all use cases might be there in this particular company, right? Relevant to the industry, and how do I design the solution, and based on these things you talk about everything, right, in your first round, right? Next, if you are clearing it, then your third round. When you go to the third round, uh, again, it's very likely that you are going to get the offer letter, right? After your second round, third round, it's all about the patience, right? It's all about now getting more into these things, use cases, designing the solution. It's a deep dive into your technical expertise, and maybe you know answer some technical questions, but it's mostly case study type of round. Okay, where senior folks will come after your first round. Second round will be with your senior folks, your senior manager. First round might be with your immediate manager, with your manager, but second round is with your senior manager or somebody even higher. Okay, some cases it might be a CEO round as well, right? So that there, it's all about the business, it's all about the three things. And people who, if you are getting into these big companies, if you are aspiring for it, never ever forget about these points, right, which I'm talking about. You have to uh, talk about the company, you have to talk about the story, right? So that's what the second round is going to be. Technical सब तो इसके इसमें technical is only 20%. 80% is all about case study. 80% it's all about the problem statement, use cases, how do you design the solution, the three things which I have talked. If you have cleared this, then your HR interview will start, where it's mostly around your, not your technical skill, but just cultural fit, whether you are a, how good you are with team collaboration. So all those things will be judged in HR interview. But mostly, if you have cleared first round and second and third, then 90% chances that you are going to get the offer letter. Okay, so once your HR round you are able to clear, all the expectations are fine, then final round is mostly to set the expectation from the senior folks, where they will interact with you, they will ask you few questions, but in most of the cases here you will not get rejected. Here they will be giving you कि ठीक है, this is what we are working on, you should be prepared for this particular thing, you should be prepared for these things when you will join these projects you will be working. Those type of discussion happens in final interview. Once you have HR interview, almost 99% you can think that you are going to get the offer letter. Okay, So that's how this whole journey is going to be. So of course, technical thing you have to work on, but clearing these interview round, this is where magic lies, right? I have interviewed more than 100 people, right, in my previous organization as well as currently at Alma Beto. And trust me, out of 100, only 4 to 5, 6 students or candidates are talking about the relevant stuff, right? They are talking about, they even searched Alma Better for the first time, right? Only out of 100, I have seen 5 to 10 candidates I have found who has done it. It's so rare. People are not acknowledging these type of understanding. So at least if your takeaway after this session is this, ki if I am appearing for any interview, I'm going to search about it. I'm going to write few use cases. I'm going to at least be clear about the product and the industry. It's more than enough for me, because just 2 hours which I have got with you. Otherwise, there are a lot of things which I can talk about. ठीक है? अगर इतना भी आपका टेक अवे है from this session, I will be more than happy. ठीक है? So if you want to get into that top companies, in fact, get a job. This is very clear. All right. Now this is what your interview format is going to be. Now I'll give you few interview questions. Now interview questions, see, it's something which is not going to be very different. It's not like in top product companies, your questions are going to be very different. Okay, your questions are not going to be different, right? It's going to be same, like define mean, median, mode, and when and why we use these measures in data analysis. If you are just starting it off, it might look very difficult for you, but people who are in you are in Alma Beta right now, you might know these things already, right? Mean kya hai, median kya hai, mode kya hai, or if you might have learned about it earlier in your college or somewhere, you know these things. And data analysis, this is very important concept. But how do you explain it? Questions are same, questions are similar, but how do you explain, that's what will differ. Okay, it's on you. How do you explain it? If I have to explain it, I'll talk about there is one way of explaining. When I'll talk about mean is kind of average of the data, median is the middle part, and mode is the data which is occurring the most, right? Mode is the data which is occurring the most. Let's say if in this class, name as Rishabh, there are 10 Rishabs in this session right now, then the name Rishabh is the mode for the data. Okay, a lot of times Rishabh, name Rishabh as a first name is coming. Okay, if lot of people out of, let's say, 100, they have the height of 5.5, so the maximum, if people are getting 5.5, most frequently coming data as 5.5, that is the mode. Okay, mean is the average of all the data, median is the middle part, right? 50%. This is one way of explaining it, where I just talk about the technical stuff. Okay, but if I have to explain as a top 1% candidate, I will talk about, see, mean, median, mode in the real world. When I am, let's say, trying to get for, I'm interviewing for Alma Beto. I'm giving an example. Let's say if I have to interview for Alma Beto. So I'll talk about in Alma Beto in EdTech, it's very important to ensure the student success. It's very important to ensure the student success. So if I have to give you this example from this point of view, mean is going to be, let's say, in a class, if students are learning some concept, then in this concept, what is the average marks they have got, right? Median will be what's the number which more than 50% of the students are achieving. What's that number? Mode is where which score is the most frequently scored, or marks scored by students. Which marks is the most frequently scored, which students have achieved. So this is how I will relate to it. You have understood? One way is just talking about the average of numbers. the 50 percentile. And one way is, if I'm interviewing it for with Alma Better, if I am standing there, I will make things very similar to, let's say, Alma Better company. I'll ensure कि ठीक है, I talk about the problem statement where I want to ensure the success. So for that, I need to know what is the level of understanding of student. So I'm going to relate to that and talk about these stuff. Is it clear? Is it clear? Are you able to understand what I'm talking about right now? Put yes in the chat, guys, if you have understood this. You know, it's not something which you have to do differently. Okay, it's not something which you have to do differently. It's just that how do you present the concept, and each and everything you will find, it's very clear. There is no interview question which you are going to get very similar to Apple or ye or wo. ऐसा नहीं होता है, ठीक है? It's not like that. There might be one or two questions which is very focused to Apple interviews, but mostly questions are very generic. You will get the question, but how do you explain it? That will differentiate you with anybody else, right? That will differentiate you with anybody else. All right. So I think there are case studies. These are the questions which we will definitely share from our end. If you are already into this field, then this is going to be something which you can revise on, talk, look at it. These are very important as well as famous questions asked in the real interviews our students they have gone through. Right? We have a program where a lot of students right now also they are preparing for the jobs, so they have got these questions in their interviews, right? So this is something which will be helpful for you if you want to prepare it, right? And it's mostly generic, but don't just look at the technical stuff. Add the flavor of business, understand, research about that company. Okay. Now, few case studies which we have given you, which you can look at it, which you can, try to solve it, which you should think about it. It's kind of like in hospitality, I mentioned, right, in different industry, what type of problem statements you might encounter, what type of case studies you might encounter. So in hospitality, we have, let's say, Airbnb as one company which focuses on growth by analyzing customer voice using data science. These are some cutting edge case studies which you might be working. Who knows? Like you are working in hospitality, and Airbnb is one of the top product company or top company there. So if you're working at Airbnb, you will be working on these cutting edge problem statements, which is analyzing customers' voice and then analyzing what's their experiences, what do they like, right? Likewise, in healthcare, I remember some lady here. She was asking, student was asking, like, what? Tell me about healthcare, right? So healthcare, like Novo Nordisk is one of the company. They are driving innovation through NLP, right? Innovation in medicine. In healthcare, there is a very big role of research. Lot of time people spend in researching about the medicine or the disease, how to solve that, right? It takes tens of 15s of years, millions, billions of data they invest to finally come up with the medicine which we are using right now, right? So how to let's say fasten it, how to analyze, how to make things. Lot of research papers are there, how we can simplify that, how data science can be applied. A lot of things are already happening, right? Companies like ZS Associates, like ZS, it's written. So these companies are solely focused on healthcare, and healthcare analysis is something which in itself is a big industry, and lot of problem statements are there. Similar to that, all the problem statements we have added here. Of course, this whole thing will be shared with all of you on email, and all the video, the discussions which I had right now, we will be sharing with all of you guys. Okay. So that's all from my end. That's what I wanted to tell you. The most underrated thing which I have seen people ignoring. I wanted to give you this understanding. If you have given me your eyes and ears, I should give you this, which is actually real in the industry. Okay, where telling a story, understanding the industry, understanding the company is something which is also very important, which you should focus. All right. Now, if I have to talk about the acquiring technical skill, building portfolio, uh, again, here we have whole lot of, everywhere you will find lot of roadmaps, everything which you can follow. Here we, if you want to follow our curriculum, if you want to join, if you want to join my class, then it's something which you can decide from your end. Okay, we have here people from admissions team. If you are interested, you can just put it in the Q&A section and our team will connect with you, but that's something which is totally dependent upon you. It's something which you can make your decision. So technical thing, if I talk about it, let's say what we cover from our end in our curriculum, it's all about first, it's a journey of 6 months. It starts with introduction to computer programming, Python, how to write codes in Python, how do you solve coding questions in Python. We practice lead code questions. So all those things we do it in the first module. In the second module, it's mostly around the exploratory data analysis, where you use pandas, NumPy, and all the other visualization libraries like Matplotlib, Seaborn. That should be your second step. Once you are good with Python, then get into the libraries of it, right? Once you are good with libraries, then get into the SQL, how to deal with databases. Here, you are going to deal without data. How do you do it? Basic, like odd, even, these type of questions. From there to the complex ones. Here, you will use CSV data, different forms of data. Now you will start interacting with tables, databases, how to do the query. That should be your third step. Then fourth step should be, now you have got these three understanding. How do you make your presentation? How do you present it? How do you present it? Then again, getting into further around the statistics like A/B testing, ये सब कैसे करते हो आप? Experiment design is a huge chunk in data analysis and data science field. How do you apply statistics in that? How do you make sure that the statistics, like mathematically proven results, how do you present it? That's what statistics is. And along with that, we cover all the topics which are related to, let's say, machine learning, which is required, right? In machine learning, you should know bit of calculus, algebra, and whatever it is required, we cover it here, right? Now, machine learning, it's going to be like very, in-depth understanding which you are going to get. Like, how do you apply machine learning concept? What all different problem statements are there? And over the course, this thought process which I was discussing, we talk about it the most, right? The rest everything we will definitely talk about it, but apart from that, we talk about how to present yourself, how to work on these case studies. Each and every module will have one at least capstone project, lot of case studies which different instructors are going to talk about, trainers are going to talk about, industry kit professionals, they come, they talk about these things, they give you the direction, lot of guided projects. So that's how we give you this whole understanding, right? At the end, when you have a machine learning uh, topics done, at least you will be ready as a fresher, more than enough to get into this field, right? Then these are optional, distributed machine learning and all these. This is something which is, as a fresher, if you want to get into this field, what is required, all of these things are already included here. And then again, if you want to get into the top 1%, if you want to further enhance yourself, then yeah, this master's course, this course around, one second. The master course has the next level stuff. First is taking one step. As I mentioned, it's all about going through a journey. So wherever you learn, it's not about only alma mater or somewhere, but it's about whatever you decide in your mind when you started. So it's about taking one step every day, right? Just like you took one step for today. You joined this session. I'm sure you might have learned something. You might have gotten some understanding. It will not go in vain, right? I'll not just talk about the good things, rather I'll give you a lot of things which you might take it as something which you will work later, right? You will think about it. So that's how it is. So now I have given you the foundation track, what all things you are going to learn as a technical skill. If you want to get deeper into it in master, in MS degree, in what we have as a product, then a specialization track. These are the advanced stuff which you take it up. Mostly after foundation track, people go to career track, and then they work on the building up portfolio, resume, interview, all those things. How do you tell a story? All those things you will work on, and then you will start the specialization track. These are the things which are thoda sa advanced, which you might not require as a fresher. But when you are starting it off, this is how you start from zero, from day one. You will start with these topics, and eventually you reach there where you are proudly saying, I'm a part of top 1% data scientists. Okay, so that's all from my end, guys. I hope you guys have learned things today. Can you put it in the chat if this session was not just like something which we wanted to uh, give you feel good things, but you actually got some pointers, you actually got something to work on? Put yes in the chat, guys. Manjeet and everyone, right? You will get PDF, the documents which I have talked about, the video, everything you are going to get from our end, right? Great, great. Now it's time we can start Q&A session, right? We can start the Q&A session, and then we will close it, right? We will call it a day. So let me uh, took let me take the questions which you have put in the Q&A section. So first, Silpa, last session which was related to using ChatGPT for data science, I was not able to join that session, and recording of that session is not available. It must be available. I think it is already okay. Krishna has already shared, so please join this group, and then in all these group we share the recording. All right. Great. Silpa, I think your question is answered, and Krishna has already answered it in the chat. Now, Bhushan, how I'll be able to get the job after 3 months? Bhushan, and everyone here, right? Everyone is like, everybody is very much focused on कि 2 मिनट, like 2 महीने में चाहिए, 3 महीने में चाहिए, 1 महीने में चाहिए. See, it's not about months, right? It's about, are you confident about yourself, right? Have you learned all those pointers which I've talked? Are you good, good with Python, SQL? Are you good with dashboarding? Are you good with uh, I would say Excel, Tableau, Power BI? Are you good with these things? At least you have the understanding, you know about basics of machine learning. At least if you are good with all those skills which you have, if you are part of our curriculum, you know where you will be really good at these skills. And once you get there, then opportunities are there, right? Opportunities are never going to end. Opportunities are always going to be there in the market, because in data science, data is always going to grow. If something is right now, earlier when everything was on pen and paper, very few requirement of data scientist was there. As they started logging it in computer, demand for data scientist, data analyst has gone up, and slowly and steady, or each and every data is getting logged. Whatever right now I'm talking, whatever you are putting in Q&A, whatever you are searching, right from there to everything is being stored somewhere as a data, and some company need a data scientist or data analyst to analyze it and make right decision, make data driven decision. Okay, so that's how it is going to be. As long as you are confident about your skills, start applying. So on our dashboard, and it's for everyone here, so even if you are not part of Alma Better, you can go to our dashboard, we have job listings already present. You can start applying if you are confident about it. We have collated all the jobs from all across the platforms and put it at one place so that our students, in fact other students, they can get the benefit out of it, right? So if you're confident, please go and start applying. Okay, so jobs are there if you are confident about it, Bhushan. I hope I have answered your question once. I am pursuing BA right now. First year, what is good for me? See, once there are two line of thought. Okay, you are pursuing BA, you are in first year. Okay, if you are very sure about okay, I want to get into data science field. If you are sure about it, if you know there will be a little bit of mathematics, right? I'll not say it's kind of PhD level mathematics. I don't want to give you any fear. I won't don't want to scare you, but there will be mathematics, applied statistics. There will be a little bit of algebra. How comfortable you are? Ask that question. Okay? Ask that question. अगर if you are confident about it कि ठीक है, I can handle it, I am ready to put myself there, I want to get into this field. If you are confident about it, then first year it's good. 3 years you will get, at least you will start working on working in this side, and you will eventually reach at some place, right? So again, what is good for me right now? Data science. Here in data science, one good thing is whichever field you are interested in, everywhere data science as an application is required, right? Data science is in healthcare, data science is in politics, data science is in all the domains, right? So at least if you have this understanding, you might be able to apply it better. You will have an edge over others. So if you are looking from that perspective, yes, it will be helpful for you. But please not do not decide this before analyzing, because you are from BA background. That's why I'm telling you all of these things, because mostly there might be a very limited exposure of mathematics to you, and again coding to you. Although we cover everything from basic, but there has to be some prior understanding. That's why you have to look from that angle. And on top of it, in all the fields data science is applied. So and of course, as a as a BA or BTech or these, we have been able to place from all across the domain. So if you are genuinely interested, if you are learning this skill, then at the end, placing you and giving you the job, giving you the opportunity, you applying, you clearing the interview, that's something which you will definitely get. Because the first thing which I want you to focus on, can you get the right skill? Are you motivated enough to get into this field? ठीक है. So as long as that part is clear, companies will not reject you based on your background like PA. ठीक है. There are companies who will hire you. Okay, there are companies who might be in let's say the field which you are in. Let's say BA अगर आप कर रहे हो तो in which domain you are doing BA, there might be some companies, there are companies who will, you know, maybe they will require, let's say in political science, if you are good in political science, then there are companies who are working in analysis of politics, right? They are giving consultancy to these parties. तो उस टाइप की कंपनीज भी है. तो दैट्स हाउ it is, right? And it's not limited to that. Companies, they are first looking for skills. At least our hiring partners, we have partner of 700 plus hiring partners. So again, there we have seen, and always we push from our end that first, please take the coding round so that everybody, at least they are getting a chance to show themselves. Okay, if somebody is taking this decision ki, okay, I want to become a data scientist, data analyst, profile should be one factor. But if they are able to get here, if they are able to uh, complete all the things, acquire all the skills, give them a chance, give them coding around and let them showcase themselves. If they are doing good, then take the interview. So that's how it is. I hope you have got the answer once. Can you put it in the chat if you are still in this session? Currently, I'm in BTech final year. I want a course in Java full stack developer as an internship, as well as an internship. Himanshu. No, we don't have exactly Java full stack developer. To be very honest, we have the course where you get MERN stack. Okay, you can get, you can get and yourself enrolled in MERN stack. If you are very fixated on Java full stack, then that course we don't have right now. Okay, to be very honest, I'll not say ki we have that product. We have seen almost 70% of the companies, even more than that, they have started using MERN stack. Okay, what is MERN stack? That is something related to web development, Himanshu. So if you are interested in Java full stack developer, then that course is not with us. But if you are interested in getting into web development field, then definitely check out our website. We have a web development course where it is very specific to MERN stack, which makes you eligible for more than 70-80% of the companies outside, or at least for new age companies. Sir, currently I'm in MSc in computer science, doing currently MSc in computer science. I want to do internship. Which company is the best? All right. So here, the line of thought which I am going to give you is, when you want to do an internship, right? Which company is the best? Mostly, if you want to do an internship, any company you get in where you can get at least exposure of how it is happening right now in industry, that is good enough, Sudarshan. Okay, so that's first, right? You should not be very fixated on कि मेरे को best company में ही जाना है. ठीक है. Internship, again, if you are very much into this gear, I'll go get the internship, then get the PPO, then that's a different uh, zone, like discussion, point of discussion altogether. But your sole or the first discussion should be, your first thought process should be, I need a industry experience. Okay, you need a industry experience. So you can aim for any company, as long as you're working there in some data science field, data science project, it's good enough for you, right? It's good enough if you are interested in data science. Now, if you talk about which company is uh, in itself very good company to give you internship, then I would say you can aspire for top companies, right? There are a lot of companies, they have their own program, right? Uh, like GSOC, Google School of Code, right? You can aspire for that. You can try there as well. Lot of companies like in the domain of, I would say, in fact, our companies as well. Our company is also looking for internship, right? And Mabitin is also looking for internship, interns. On top of it, I would say if you want to get into more internship side of it, the best company, I would suggest very good program as EY. They have very good program around internship. Uh, on top of it, EXL, they also provide really good program around internship. They have very dedicated program around internship. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so that's how it should be. First and foremost, I would say, don't get into that dilemma कि यार मेरे को best में ही जाना है. First, your focus should be on, if I'm getting an opportunity, I should go and gain the industry experience, work on really good project, understand how industry works. And then if you have this experience, your whole world opens up, right? You have really good project to write on your resume. But if you are getting an opportunity, then aim for the companies, in service companies also. You will get good companies giving you KPMG, EXL, EY. These companies are also giving really good internship experience, right? On top of it, if you are focused on प्रोडक्ट कंपनी, सो वही मैं बोला कि जो आप गूगल कर सकते हो, In some cases, you can get yourself placed in, if you are doing MSc in computer science, then you can get yourself placed in, or not placed, get internship in, uh, currently I have seen from Microsoft. In fact, I have seen Facebook India as well looking for interns, right? If you go and search about it. But I would suggest one link from our dashboard I'm going to give you, where on a daily basis, meant you will get the list of internship also getting posted. Okay, so internship also getting posted, so check this out and it will help you. Okay, what is the difference between product and service based company? Okay, very good question. So product based company, they have their own product, right? Let's say I have, let me give you an example. Let's say you are using a phone, right? You are using a phone of Samsung. So Samsung has a product. Okay, Samsung has a product. Now let's say you have bought the phone, you are using Samsung phone, and something happened, your screen or something happened with the phone. You will go to some local company, local retailer, where you get your phone fixed. So that shop or that company, it can be a big company as well, right, who will come to your doorstep. So that company is service based company. They don't have their own product, rather they give the service to different people. ठीक है, दे आर गिविंग सर्विस. लेट्स से आप सैमसंग का फ़ोन ख़राब हो गया, आपको वो जो है उसमें हेल्प कर देगा. ठीक है, कोई और फ़ोन ख़राब होगा तो उसमें हेल्प कर देगा. Likewise, we have companies like EY, EXL I was talking about, right? They don't have their own product, but they have lot of clients. उस clients को these guys serve. If that particular client is saying कि look, I need a analysis on this data based on some problem statement they want to work on. So EXL will say, okay, I have 4 people who can work for you. Another 4 5 people, they work for different companies. So they have 10 different clients, and people working in, or employees working in EXL, they work on 10 different companies. Okay. Sort of. Okay. So can you tell me what you have been claiming that is 100% placement? See again, placement jobs, right from the start we have been telling, it's not something which you can get without working on the skill, right? From day one till end, we are going to be very focused on giving you the right skill, right? And this I'm claiming very upfront. It's never going to be like कि आप आते हो और ये हो जाता है. There are two things which or whole company, all of us are working on. First of all, giving you the right platform, giving you the right environment, right community, where you can learn all these concepts with not just focus on the technical tools, rather focus on all these stuff which I talked about today, right? Once you have this, giving you a connect with our hiring partners, they recognizing your work, they recognizing your resume, they recognizing your credentials, the projects. That's what we do as a second thing, right? So if you have got the opportunities, next we will train you for, or we help you for the interviews. If you're confident enough, you are going to clear those, right? So point is, a lot of people, they uh, learn things, they learn all these things. It might not be structured, might not be focusing on the important stuff, but at the end, when they are ready, they don't get the connect of companies to apply to. That's what we give. We have hiring partners where we tell them ki people are from different backgrounds. Sometimes people have weak backgrounds like ear gap or something. So that, how do you explain to companies, and again how companies look at it, those things we work from our end. So it's all about making this whole ecosystem student friendly, that at the end, if are you getting the right thing to learn, are you getting the structured thing to learn? If yes, If you have learned this skill, are there enough opportunities for you to crack? Yes. If that is there, if you are not able to get one or two opportunities, if you are getting rejection, somebody is there, somebody who can talk to you and help you out? Yes. All of these things create a really good ecosystem where eventually you get the success, eventually you get the placement, right? So that's how it is. So this is what our claim is, and towards that claim we do all these things around it. Okay. Okay. Last couple of weeks, we stuck. I would say doctors like you do, the management try to contact with us as long as they have all resources. Judge performance in the context of allometer site. Number, everything, even they can judge performance in the context of allometer site. Okay, sort of, again, here, if you have any confusion, right, anything you want to talk about, our team from here, we have Krishna, we have Somdev, join this session, they will connect with you, and if required, I'm also here to guide you. Okay. Do you think curriculum structure you design enough to understand the concept? Yes, we are very confident about it. And then currently, all the success we see, we very much believe in our own process. Okay, right. So our team will definitely connect with you and give you all the understanding. Saurav, at job portal, most of the job need 2 to 3 years of experience. No, there you have a filter. You can apply the filter, and you will be able to get the jobs which are very related to the fresher as well. Okay? Upskill se karoge, there you will be able to get. Put 0 to 2 ka filter, and you will be able to get the jobs which are related to fresher as well. Sir, I have enrolled the course, but in the market there are lots of people having skill. Everyone are applying. Because of this, I'm losing my confidence. So Somdeep has already answered it. Trust the process, complete the course as per the given parameters, and you will see that companies are going to hire you. ठीक है? People, they अभी भी, अगर आप तेजस, मैं आपको एक बताता हूँ, and everyone here, that people enroll in the course, and 90% of the people, they are not going to do it. It's not us, हम लोग का तो फिर भी it's better compared with any other institute. You will see कि lot of people, they are telling कि I'm doing data science, I'm doing data science, but they are not serious enough to understand and learn all these skills. Okay, they just want to say कि I want to become data scientist, but they are not ready to put their 100%. Okay, so Tejas, all I would say, if you are interested, get into it, give your 100%, and this is a very promising field which is going to grow, and you will see the result at the end. Okay, since you have already enrolled into the course, go through it, right, complete it, and you will see the result. And then there are very lot of people, but then again, in all the jobs in any field, you will see a lot of people are applying for it, but as long as you are doing good, you will get the job, right? You are going to get the job at the end. That's how it is. Manjeet, I have completed my PGDM in marketing and business analytics, and I got placed in sales profile. After 6 months, I left my job, doing various business analyst courses, doing along with the career gap, affect my future. See, career gap, as long as you are able to defend your career gap, which we discuss a lot during our discussion session internally, that, see, at the end, it's all about during that time what you were doing, and how do you say that how this is has helped you overall as a person. So I'll tell you this: lot of people, in fact, for us, a lot of students, they join after, let's say, 3 4 years of gap. They have been preparing for UPSC exam, right? They have been preparing for UPSC exam. So they are very uncomfortable around it कि 3 4 years मैंने दे दिया है, अब क्या होगा, will it affect? So it's all about then talking points. Yeah, those 3 4 years I was trying for something. Is it a crime? नहीं, है ना? You should get a chance. Otherwise, तो कोई नहीं करेगा फिर prepare. So you should tell that what I have learned during that time. I have learned how to put my hard work, right? I have learned how to give a lot of time to solve any problem statement, right? I can sit for hours and hours to concentrate on one thing. So those things you learn while you were preparing for UPSC. Likewise, when you were having all these let's say year gaps, which you are talking career gap, you might be doing something, right? So all that you have to talk about, and how and why you took that decision. This is what you have to explain it to your interviewer, and as long as you are able to do it, it's very clear. ठीक है, they will respect it. Nobody in this world they will say कि यार नहीं career gap मैं नहीं लेना चाहता हूँ. Everybody wants that कि 6 महीने 1 साल 2 साल 3 साल तक, it does not matter. ठीक है, as long as they are going to ask it, definitely they are going to ask it, but how do you explain it, how do you talk about it, that is something which is important. What type of, like what you are going to talk, what you have done during that time. ठीक है, तो net net it's not going to affect, but you should know how to defend it, you should know how to talk about it. Right. Let me take Nitin. I have completed my PGDM in HR and business analyst. I got placed in profile analyst. After 3 months, I have left my job doing various business analyst courses. Uh, Okay, so will this affect my career gap? I have given the same, like I have given my answer to Manjit, and same answer applies to you as well, right? Same answer applies to you. Career gap does not matter. Again, 2 to 3 years ka to again it does not matter, but still you should know what to talk about it. And for that, career coaches, a lot of people are going to interact with you during the session, so it should not be a concern. So when you are going for interview, before that, mock interviews, career coach sessions, so those guys are going to talk about, look at your profile, help you build your resume, and talk about these things only, right? When we say career coach, personalized career coach is going to sit with you, it's all about answering these things, giving you a direction, giving you a pointer, okay, what to talk about, how to talk about these things during the interview. That's what the work of career coaches are going to be. But as a whole, it's not like you will get a lot of backlash, you are not going to get shortlisted. It's not like that. Okay, if it would have been the case, I would have told you very clearly. If you have, let's, if you have been working in some other field for 6 7 years, I never personally say ki leave that job and come back, take a come to data science. Mostly what I believe, not everybody should do data science. If you are generally genuinely interested, that's a different case, but I never say that everybody should do data science. Even let's say if you have experience, 10 years of experience in some field, and you want to leave that and come back here, no. Excel in your own field, no, in each and every field there is a scope. If you have some skill, you have been working for 10 years, try to grow there. Everything has a journey, so you can focus on that. I always say after 5 6 years of experience, if you have in some other field, please pursue that. Don't come back. You can learn data science, these tools as a skill, but try to apply these skills in your own company, in your own role, right? So as long as it is 3 to 4 years, it's fine. 5 years tak it's fine. Where can we find partnered companies? Again, there is a full placement statistics report, success stories. Lot of people profiles you are going to find on Alma Better. You can go talk to them as well. Everything is going to be, uh, at the end, going to give you to the same direction, that companies as well as success stories. So that's something for you to research, Suraj. And again, Somdeep is here, whom you can talk to and discuss this. All right, the last one, Nitin. What is business analyst better or data science? Okay, so here, Nitin, I'll tell you this. It's not about something is better than the other. ठीक है, I'll never say it. ठीक है, I'm not someone who will give you कि नहीं डेटा एनालिस्ट छोटा होता है, बिजनेस एनालिस्ट छोटा होता है, डेटा साइंटिस्ट बड़ा होता है, ये बड़ा होता है, ऐसा नहीं होता है. ठीक है, it's never like that. It's always going to be a journey for you. Data scientist जो होते हैं, mostly they work on prediction, they work on predictive analysis. ठीक है, of course it's most, it lot of times it depend on company as well. Companies किसी में होते हैं everybody is data scientist. In some companies there is a differentiator, data analyst, data scientist, product analyst. So it depends on company, but in general if I talk about it, data science as a field, okay, data science as a field, it will come to you later in your career, let's say after 2 3 years of experience, when you will be working on machine learning modeling or even deep learning modeling. That is where data science profile will kick in. But before that, it's all about working on analysis, your diagnostic analysis. So there are three types of analytics: diagnostic, predictive, and prescriptive, right? So diagnostic analytics is where you start your journey, where you take the data and understand what happened in the past, what's the pattern, why do I see let's say sale is going down, why my revenue is going down, in terms of any company I'm talking about, right? Why users are not engaged. So these are the past data, you analyze it, you try to diagnose. Like doctor, they write you some test, so blood test करवा लो, diagnose करो क्या दिक्कत है. So that's what the role of data scientist and business analyst, data analyst or business analyst is. Business analyst, again, it's very specific to when you work with a client or in with business team, then you are a business analyst. When you work with marketing team, then you are a marketing analyst, right? When you work with product team as a whole, you are called as product analyst, right? So that's what the categorization is, but as a whole, all of those are data analyst. So you, starting में, most of the people including me and lot of people who you see as right now in data science field, they have started their journey in data analysis, right? They start first with diagnostic. पहले आप diagnose करोगे तब predict करोगे कल का. पहले पहले क्या हुआ उसके बारे में बात होगी. So that's how it is. It's not something is better than the other. It's a journey. First, most of the students, most of the candidates, they start with this. Then they get into the data science field. Then maybe based on your interest, you will get into machine learning engineering. You will get into the technical side of it, or you can get into the business side of it, where you excel as senior product manager, senior business analyst, or then analytics manager, head of analytics, kind of. That can be your journey, right? But if you're very interested in tech side of it, machine learning engineer can be your direction. Okay, you can be in the research side of it as well, AI engineer, where you are researching a lot on deep learning things. So starting point still, it's going to be seen for most of the people. I hope it is clear to all of you guys. Nitin, is it clear to you? Raj. Sir, I'm good in technical, but I'm not good to speak English. There is some communication gap to talk to other person in English. How do I remove it? देखिए, I understand this concern, and in India, okay, in India, this is the case with 98% of the people, right? Even more than that. लोग को इंग्लिश सब कुछ आता है, बट इंग्लिश नहीं आती है. ठीक है, इंग्लिश नहीं आती है. इंग्लिश समझना सबको आता है. एवरीबडी कैन अंडरस्टैंड इंग्लिश. आई वुड से मोर देन 80% इन इंडिया पीपल अंडरस्टैंड इंग्लिश हु हैज ग्रेजुएटेड. कॉलेज के बाद अगर आते हैं तो इंग्लिश तो समझ में आती है. ठीक है, इंग्लिश तो समझ में आती है, लेकिन क्या होता है, इंग्लिश बोल नहीं पाते हैं. सो व्हेन, again, that is something which you have to first work on. One or two tips I'm going to give you, okay, which will help you to make your English speaking better. although it's not about English, it's more about how you talk about things, how do you articulate, how do you structure what you want to talk to. That's the first thing. But if you want to make yourself better in English, if you want to be a better speaker, right, if you want to be better speaker, first of all, speak slowly, right? I have seen people, whenever I talk in my native language, like my native language is Hindi, मैं जब हिंदी में बात करूंगा तो मैं थोड़ा जनरली नेचुरली फास्ट बात करता हूँ, राइट, जल्दी जल्दी बातें करता हूँ. But when I start talking in English, right now it might be in the same pace, but when you I was starting it off during my initial days, it is not possible to keep the same pace because your thinking and your speaking will not go hand in hand. So speak slowly. Even if I am talking like this, that I am good in technical, but I'm not good at speaking English, this is also something which is fine. If you talk like this, it is fine. People, from day one, you should not sound like कि बहुत जल्दी जल्दी मैं बोल रहा हूँ. Speak slowly first. ठीक है, this is my first tip to you. Second, you have to record yourself. ठीक है, how I have, I would not say I might be the best one, but I have made myself better, right? I have worked on myself to at least come to this particular level. How I did it, lot of times I record myself whenever I'm talking about anything. I record myself and then I listen it back. I listen it back and note down the top. कि ठीक है, इसको better करते हैं. Again, I'll do it for one day. If you do it for half an hour, you will see the miracle happening. That's it. These two things. Speak slowly first, slowly pick up the pace, but speak very slowly. And second, you have to record yourself. Pick any topic. कुछ भी पकड़ लीजिए. Like right now, there is a conflict happening between Maldives and India. Lakshadweep coming in picture. So इस पे ही 5 मिनट का एक आप बोल लो. ठीक है, लिख लो पहले और उसको बोलो आप. रिकॉर्ड करो खुद को. Listen to yourself, try to analyze how you can make it better, because right now you don't need the understanding of grammar, you don't need the understanding of basic things that you have. It's all about the confidence. Listen to yourself, then whenever you will be talking to anyone, you know कि ठीक है, I have listened to myself, I'm not that bad. ठीक है, दिस इज समथिंग विच यू शुड डेफिनेटली फॉलो. क्योंकि लोगों को लगता है कि यार मैं तो बहुत ही खराब हूं यार, मैं बात कैसे करूंगा. बट जब आप खुद को सुनोगे ना, तो आपको लगेगा कि नहीं यार, मैं इतना भी बुरा नहीं हूं. क्योंकि यू हैव सीन पीपल टॉकिंग इन टीवी शोज एंड ये सब, वो तो है ही. बट जब आप खुद को सुनोगे तो आपको खुद में बेटर लगेगा. तो ये सेकंड चीज आप करो, यही दो चीज करो. थर्ड, लोग बोलते हैं कि आप टीवी शोज देखो, गाने सुनो, ये करो. वो सब तो जेनरिक टिप है. ऑफ कोर्स दोज आर हेल्पफुल व्हेन यू आर लाइक लुकिंग एट एनीथिंग. आप टीवी शोज मत देखिए, ये सब तो ठीक है. एटलीस्ट आप टॉक शोज देखिए, जहाँ पे पॉडकास्ट, इंग्लिश पॉडकास्ट देखिए कि हाउ दे टॉक टू ईच अदर, what type of language they use, how they generally address each other. So those things will help. But that is the third thing. First दो तो कीजिए आप, पहले स्लो करिए, बोलिए. सेकेंड जो है, रिकॉर्ड योर सेल्फ एटलीस्ट हाफ एन आवर एवरी डे. डू दैट एक्सरसाइज. एक बार रिकॉर्ड किया, फिर सुना, फिर उसको अच्छा किया, फिर बोला. इसको आप हर दिन करो. You will see improvement in yourself. And that's what we advise to all the students inside as well. ठीक है, that's how it is. Got it, Raj? I hope you have got what I was trying to say. Have you understood it? If you are there in this session, can you put yes? Abhishek, why diagnosis is first, later is predictive? ठीक है, देखिए अभिषेक, पहले आप चीजों को डायग्नोज करते हो, राइट? पहले ब्लड टेस्ट होता है, तब पहले आपका ब्लड टेस्ट होता है, तब डॉक्टर बोलता है ना कि आपको ये हो सकता है. वो पहले बोलता है कि अच्छा अभी आपको जो है कोलेस्ट्रॉल है. कोलेस्ट्रॉल है तो आगे हार्ट अटैक आ सकता है, हार्ट डिजीजेस हो सकती है. दैट्स व्हाट द डायग्नोसिस एंड प्रेडिक्टिव इज. पहले यू विल अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज हैपनिंग राइट नाउ, एंड देन यू विल प्रेडिक्ट इट to capture, right? Let me give an example from different side of it as well. Let's say if you see your users are dropping, Okay, if your users are churning, the examples which I gave you during this session as well. So first I will understand ki what was the behavior. I'll diagnose of the behavior of all these users. I'll try to see what was the behavior, what was the pattern, what purchases they made, what type of series they watched. Let's say, taking example of Netflix. First, I'll analyze this behavior, and then I will see ki, okay, because of this pattern, how many other people, how many other user I can anticipate or predict that they also will churn after some time. ठीक है, तो पहले तो आप पास्ट डेटा को समझते हो, तब आप प्रेडिक्ट करते हो। प्रेडिक्ट करने के लिए आपको कुछ पैटर्न चाहिए ना। लाइक अगर मैं आपको सिर्फ बोलूं कि 1 इज इक्वल टू 2, ठीक है, 2 इज इक्वल टू 3, ठीक है, तो 3 इज इक्वल टू क्या बोलोगे आप? 4 बोलोगे, क्योंकि 1 इज इक्वल टू 2 कर दिया मैं, तो मतलब 1 वहां पे ये पैटर्न मिला आपको। एक प्लस करना है, 2 इज इक्वल टू 3 में प्लस एक करना है, तब आपने प्लस एक करके 4 आंसर किया, है ना। तो फर्स्ट यू लुक्ड एट द पास्ट डेटा, दैट्स हाउ इट इज। फर्स्ट यू डायग्नोस्ड। अगर मैं 3 इज इक्वल टू डायरेक्ट लिख दूं तो विल यू बी एबल टू आंसर? नो। फर्स्ट यू हैव टू सी एक पैटर्न, यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड, यू हैव टू फिगर आउट, देन यू विल आंसर द नेक्स्ट। ठीक है, चलिए। अंडरस्टूड? अंडरस्टूड अभिषेक? ग्रेट, great. All right, I think we have discussed almost all the questions, as well as all the topics which we wanted to cover. I hope this session was very interesting to all of you guys. Okay, Abhishek, let me take your last question. Is it true that initially data analyst has to do a lot of data cleaning? It's not just about data analyst. Everybody who will be working in data analyst role, data scientist role, machine learning engineer role, whoever is working in data science field, they have to do a lot of cleaning. Okay, data, when you are dealing with data, very rarely it will be straightforward. Okay, again, it's a journey. Slowly data is becoming more and more structured and easy to use, but you have to put in your cleaning effort. Okay, so always it's going to be 90%. So when we say data cleaning, it's all about I'll give you an example of that phrase, right? Not 90/10. It's a phrase, right? When you want to use an axe, right, you sharpen it for 3 hours to use it for 1 hour, right? That's what data cleaning is in case of data science. If you have cleaned it really well, you will be able to find the pattern and your analysis will be very easy. Okay, so that's why first you have to sharpen your x. That's what data cleaning is. Okay, so that's what data cleaning is. It's not 90/10. I would say it's 70/30 or 60/40. Okay, because after that as well, lot of analysis you are going to do on top of it. Got it, Abhishek? Is it clear? All right, all right. So that's all from my end. That was my bit, guys. I think uh, all the things, all the knowledge, experience which I had, I wanted to make this available to all of you guys to get into the top product companies. I gave you a lot of pointers throughout the sessions. You will get this recording. You will get the PDF, everything. All I want, with Alma Better, without Alma Better, I wish you guys all the best. Wish you guys getting into this field, like you have taken one step today to join this session and be here for almost 2.5 hours. Start this journey and definitely it will be fruitful for all of you guys. No matter where you start, I wish you guys all the best, and this year should be very special to all of you guys. Take care. Bye bye. Enjoy rest of the day. Now we are ending this session from our